Last Pint Productions
Test your might.
proudly presents
Who we fight.
for adult audiences only.
Who is right.
It's time for the
New Wave Podcast!
Ben Wilson, Matty Shanks, Santa Croce, Alexander. Listener discretion is advised. Finish him.
Sonya Blade, I have something for you, my dear.
I don't want anything from you.
Hey, it's the big master control program everybody's been talking about.
We gotta go fast! Where am I? What year is it? Is The Rock president?
Who's this Koopa clown?
That Koopa clown?
There's one evil, egg-sucking son of a snake.
Everybody wants to be naked and famous. Everybody wants to be just like me. I'm naked.
Will you help teach me about this? What is it? A new way?
Hello and welcome once again to the New Wave Podcast, the new way where we break down pop culture so you don't have to. I'm your host, Matt Shank, joined in studio by Ben Wilson. What's up? And joined across the seas from Los Angeles, Mr. Nick Santa Croce.
Hello, everyone, to you and yours.
Sounding very, very Mark Maroney. I appreciate that. And we have a special...
It's contagious out here.
We have a special in-studio guest, Mr. Ryan Alexander Hamilton. How's it going, Ryan?
I'm doing well. I heard y'all wanted to do an episode about Texas, so I flew out, hopefully in time to catch that.
Ooh, yeah.
That aired 2 weeks ago.
Sorry.
So,
yikes.
I'm also making an executive decision as one of the proprietors, or at least co-founders of the original podcast. Ryan, you sound too close to my voice, so you're no longer allowed to be on the podcast.
That's
That's the Betty and the Flintstone vitamins logic. It looks too much like Wilma. Let's just cast her aside.
Very racist.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Yes, welcome to the New Way. We have a jam-packed episode for you guys.
I picked up Ryan from the airport 2 hours ago.
Yes, he flew in at like the crack of dawn this morning.
And boy, are my arms tired.
Well, with painted toenails. Would you care to elaborate on why this is happening?
Why do I have to elaborate?
I just would curious what was the impetus behind painting your toenails.
Did you show me
Personal
impetus?
choice.
He got a podicure.
Oh, I did. I got a podicure. No, I fifth wheeled on a mother-daughter pedicure party with some friends of mine that were taking their daughters to go get a pedicure, and I just decided to invite myself. And
I mean,
what color?
The color is called Night's Sky.
It's black.
Midnight blue.
It is black.
I like that. It's a striking bold
Sky.
color.
It's black with some sparkles.
I can legit see
Can I see it? Can you put it on the camera?
I can see Ryan's toes between my monitors, and it's really throwing me off.
Wait, can you throw his toes on the monitor so I can see it?
Not easily.
Matt is getting more foot than
There's a lot of foot
than he's really comfortable with.
It's the first time I've ever been able to give anyone a foot.
Well, we also had a lot of foot last night during a gathering where we watched this video of some sort of Canadian drink that is served with a dead human toe in it. And then you squeeze the juice out of this black dead toe, and it's maybe the foulest thing I've ever seen.
I don't want to talk about what happened last night.
I feel like that might be illegal.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Isn't that cannibalism? And who did you kill to get that toe?
Yeah.
Matt, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's not real.
It was
right?
real. I'm not kidding. You got to look up this video. It's this
toe.
Thing. A toe, a human toe.
Oh, it's like a big Lebowski. Just someone knows a guy. They get a toe and make a drink.
It's a big, desiccated human toe.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It's really terrible. You need to look this up.
It's not a thing.
It's a thing.
Somebody look this up on Snopes.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Snopes it up.
Right. Listen, I was drunk when we were watching it, so it seemed believable at the time, but I did raise a lot of these questions.
Joke's on us. He's still drunk.
Facebook, Matt. It's not Facebook. You have a responsibility to report true facts.
Listen, someone tells me there's
this is the New Way podcast. Only true hard facts on here.
Someone tells me there's a toe drink. I believe them. I'm sorry. I'm just that's just me. All right. Anyways, want to talk about
toe drink and Earl.
Damn it! You made the joke before I could.
Everyone was trying to make the toe drink and Earl joke.
I didn't know we were segueing into the topic so soon.
That would have been the perfect segue.
Damn it!
You know what? This is something that we are constantly guilty of on the New Way, is that could have been a perfectly timed joke, but we're so greedy to be the ones to get to it first. They were like, fuck timing. I'm making the joke.
Well, he's on California time, so.
Well, no, in fairness, any one of us was about to make that joke.
Yeah, and yes, historically, I am always the one that cuts off people's jokes.
Yeah, Nick, stop talking over my joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Now you have two people that sound the same that will talk over your jokes, so it's going to be a fun day for you.
I just can't wait till we get to the part where Ben gets mad because somebody won't let him finish talking.
Can I finish?
It's my favorite part of the podcast.
it's
I'm barely awake. I'm holding on by a string, you guys.
So I wanted to talk about two things real quick, and we got a couple of games we're going to play today, and we'll get into our topic. But first, have you guys heard about this Goonies remake TV series?
Yeah.
So, well, do you know what it is, right?
I haven't, but I'm automatically really beat down by it already.
So I don't know if you guys know from a while back, there were these two kids many years ago that were big fans of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And they made it this lifelong project to reshoot themselves Raiders of the Lost Ark scene by scene.
It was like Be Kind, We Rewind.
But yes,
but
they call it sweeting.
Yeah.
And it was a sweeted version. It was supposed to be it's supposed to be really amazing. They eventually released it. I haven't watched it. I've seen scenes, but it's kind of awesome. It's like these kids and they're growing up because they shot it over like several years. So you get to see them kind of grow into it. So now they are
Boyhood of the Lost Ark.
Yes. So now they are doing this with the Goonies. There's a group of kids that are going to remake shot for shot the Goonies, but they're going to make a TV series out of them making this movie, which you, Ben, seem very anti this. I think it sounds kind of actually fun, but
the only reason why I'm not anti it, I'm just ready for them to do what they should do, which is a sequel to the Goonies, where all the kids from the original movie are all the parents and the adults and the ones who are out of touch at this point. I just want to see that movie.
Ben, or at the very least, a Comcast commercial. E.T. can show up. Sloth.
Listen,
the whole gang.
Shut your whore mouth.
I fucking love that Comcast commercial. It made me cry, and I'm not embarrassed to say it.
You should
Comcast could remake all the movies they fucking want. I will watch all of them. Princess Bride Comcast, Goonies Comcast, Mac and Me Comcast. It's going to be amazing.
Mac and Me
Comcast. Bundle home internet.
They will definitely get Paul Rudd for the Mac and Me, the one. But
look at us.
Well, as long as he's the kid who's going off the cliff in the wheelchair.
Listen. At worst, I think that this could raise enough awareness and interest in the Goonies to get a Goonies 2 greenlit.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I kind of think it sounds. I'd like to watch a bunch of kids try to make a movie. I like that idea.
I like the idea, but I feel like, why do you have to make that about Goonies then? Could it be some, like, not them making a popular culture movie?
Because I think it's got to have some
you have to have the clout.
Yeah,
you have to have the clout. Exactly. And that's what makes me mad.
Guys, can we just remake Mighty Ducks?
Well,
it's been remade about 15 times. It's the same movie every time.
We're just gonna have Ben's Girls remake Miracle with Luna and Margot playing all of the roles. But
speaking of,
so that's what I wanted to get to. The other thing, so we are gonna have a very special episode coming up in a few weeks. It is once again
the gang learns the consequences of drugs and alcohol, and to say no to peer pressure.
And there will be
on this week's.
Is it recorded in the back
a
of
lot
a
of
bicycle
very
shop?
sad music. Yeah, god damn it. That was a good Different Strokes reference for those of you that didn't catch that one. But
I love it.
I will say we are going to be a little lax on sound effects in general on the podcast, because I have literally loaded up all of the thing for our discussion and the game that I have planned. So apologies if I'm not getting any McClunkies or other ones out there.
Everyone,
I'll just do it.
Really sorry. We won't have more sound effect drops.
Have you gotten rid of Nerd Rope, motherfucker?
It is not on here right now. I'm sorry.
When you want a McClunky, just push my button.
Okay.
McClunky.
What is this button? Am I afraid?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's my big toe.
Yeah, I didn't. That sounded very steamy
Why do we
to
keep
me.
talking about toes?
Let's get off of the feet and on to something more fun.
Well, first I have a question.
On
for
to
you.
our subject.
Like
Toes
my
and
big toe.
Stop talking about toes. Since you made fun of my feet, I need to ask
I didn't
you a
make
question.
fun of
You
your
did.
feet. I
You
asked
did.
about your feet.
I caught the tone.
The tone.
God,
It was pretty funny.
I quit. Matt,
Yes.
why is the toilet paper in your guest bathroom rolling under instead of over?
I don't use the guest bathroom, so I don't know.
Well,
Blame it on his brother.
your brother's a heathen.
I don't really.
The last person to hook up with Paul Mamelito must have put that in the wrong way.
Actually, wait. The last person that would have used the toilet paper in there was Paul Mamelito
It's Paul's
on
fault.
Thursday night. So
I rest my case.
it was Paul was the one that I guess put it under. I don't know the difference. Is there a
Paul just made my list of
an
things to
important
do today.
difference between over under?
Well, yeah, one's right and one's wrong.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Wait, which
one
is right?
normal people do, and the other a sociopath does.
Which is the right?
Over.
Okay, I think that's how it
Over.
is in my bathroom. That makes sense to
Unless
me.
you,
I don't know.
unless
You
have
wouldn't let
small,
me use your bathroom, so
No, I did not.
you could be
unless
lying.
you
We
have
don't know.
small children or dogs, you can't put it over on top. You have to put it.
Or Paul's.
What's the over under on
not
whether
under.
it or not it was Paul that put that in there? I'm sorry. That was a terrible joke.
I don't think he put the paper on the roll. So unless
Yeah,
he purposely changed
No,
it.
he's the type of guy that would just leave it bare-assed. Like
Yeah,
as soon
right.
as soon as he would just leave it and not replace it.
Gross. All right. Anyway, moving on. We have another one of our Let's Make a Musical episodes coming up. We have each been given a choice of 2 movies to adapt into a musical, and today we're going to reveal on air live, but to tape, what our choices are for a musical, which you will get to hear us pitch to the audience in
Couple
about
weeks.
3 or 4 weeks or so. So Ben,
I'm going to need a 1 week extension, you guys.
Ben, why don't you start us off with the 2 that you were given and what you chose and why?
I was very excited because I got 2 fantabulous choices. One being the wonderful sports film Miracle, starring Kurt Russell, and
Rest
the
in
other
peace.
being Big Trouble in Little China. So, here's the thing,
And the winner is
and the winner. And the Oscar goes to
who's it going to be? Nick or me? Come on, man, we need
I
this.
actually had a really tough time with this, and the reason
need a
why
win.
is
I need a win.
the reason why I had a tough time with it is because Miracle is 100% like right up my alley. I could make the most
gonna be fucking
awesome
Nick.
emo
Yeah.
musical of all time with
chose
Miracle.
yours, Nick. He chose
I
yours,
had to
Nick.
choose Big Trouble in
Yeah,
Little
of
China.
course
I
you
just
did.
had to do it. I had to do it.
Not only did you choose Nick's choice, but you chose the one fucking movie
for
I
you,
want to
for
make
you.
a musical.
I know.
God damn it.
I know. I'm sorry. Yes, Big Trouble in Little
That's
China
a double
is,
win for Nick and a double loss for Mad Shank.
is my
First
is my choice.
nomination, first loss. God damn it.
This is Matt Shank's third nomination.
He's like the Danny Elfman of this podcast.
He previously lost for other passed over movies, such as. All right, Nick, how about you?
Well, again, I was also given 2 great choices. I forgot what Matt pitched, but I picked Ben's election.
Win for me.
No,
right.
it was a Tim Burton film, right? It was Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Pee-wee's Big
correct?
Adventure.
Now, look, on paper, that was a savvy choice for me. Obviously, I love Pee-wee. You got Elfman, you got Burton, but I already did Burton. I already did a Beetlejuice musical, and I really wanted to sink my teeth into something completely different. You know, and what better a film that's a consummate top 5, and at the top of the polls, it was my second favorite movie at one point. Ben, surely you remember that.
Oh, surely I remember that.
MTV Films election. Strap on.
Second only to Joe's apartment.
Oh my god! The single worst movie.
The
I've ever
only
seen.
other MTV Films movie. Well, that's good. I'm excited to see to hear both of those musicals get pitched. I was given 2 interesting choices. One was a movie I saw once for the first time in 2014 under Ben's urging, and that is The Thing. And then the second was a movie I've never seen all the way through, despite knowing a great deal of the pop culture significance of it.
I thought for sure you had seen that too.
Roadhouse. When you gave me Roadhouse, I'm like, well, at least I got Ben. Ben's like The Thing, and I'm like, come on, somebody help me out. At least
you have Ben. Well, listen. You need to see Roadhouse, and then then you'd be thanking me right now. You'd be on your hands and knees thanking me.
So since I didn't want to spoil it for the podcast, but I spent Friday evening with a bottle of wine and a high definition surround sound transfer of one Roadhouse, and took copious notes about the musical side. Because honestly, The Thing, I just couldn't wrap my head around. Like, a Wilford Brimley song would be great.
So the reason why I picked The Thing is because I don't know if you know who. Nick, what's the name of the band that does the swing music for all of the
Cherry Poppin' Daddies?
No. They do
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
No.
Daddy.
Anyways,
Daddy.
So
Brian Setzer.
Matt tends to populate his musicals with old music from actual musicals in the 50s and 60s or whatever. And
which I cannot do this time. Which
you can't do this time. But somebody had already gone ahead and done like an old swing version of like, that's why the lady is a thing. You know.
It was an interesting idea.
I thought Matt would think you were talking about the Fantastic Four musical within the fourth season of Arrested Development.
I'm a rock, and I
From the perspective of Big Ben Grimm comes The Thing.
So yeah, I chose Roadhouse. I watched the movie all the way through. It is, I gotta say, it's very interesting. That movie's script is populated entirely by like idioms and like just every line is a little bit of a zinger, and that's all anyone talks like in it. Everything is in a cliche or
sound familiar.
It's amazing. It's almost like I don't know that you could do that on purpose as well as they accidentally did that in that movie. So You're
just bending over backwards not to give Roadhouse any credit, you know? By accident, they stumbled into a classic film. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You know that movie was a gigantic bomb, right?
Knocks my heart.
Sort of bending over backwards joke with Roadhouse.
Yeah,
whatever.
Apparently it was. I read up a lot on it. Apparently it failed so bad at the box office, and it broke. It broke Patrick Swayze for a little while because like he was coming off of Dirty Dancing, and the studio was like, "Oh, this is gonna be another huge hit," and it just bombed. And he's like, "I broke like lots of my body in this movie on these fights. Like that guy hit him with a real log. He didn't know he was gonna do it. It's a messed up fucking movie, but it's gonna make a great musical."
All I ask
still trying not to make jokes about Roadhouse, but okay.
All I ask is that one of those songs is in the style of Bill Medley. That's all I ask.
Listen, you are not a producer on this musical. I'm the one.
I feel like it. I'm 2 for 2, baby.
Well,
2 for 2.
Okay. Well, now I have to actively fight against you next time, unless Ben gives me another gives me Mac and Me, and I have to figure that one out.
The Great Train Robbery.
Hey, Michael Crichton directed that.
But that would be just a very difficult one to adapt into a musical. I mean, come now. All right, so we have a fun little
wheels are turning now.
We have a fun little thing we're gonna do here. I need Ryan, since you are the guest of honor, to pick a number between 1 and 4.
2.
Okay, Ryan's got 2. Take this piece of paper, sir.
There was a lot of trepidation in that voice.
Ben,
because I know what's coming.
Ben, 1, 3, or 4?
Yeah, you do. Number 1. Number 1.
Number 1. And Nick, would you like 3 or 4?
I wanted 2.
Suck it.
Well, you can't. Our guest got it.
I mean, I got your number.
I'll take number 1, baby. Number 1.
No, you can't have 3 or 4.
Damn it! All right, I'll go with 3.
Thank you. I'm gonna send it to you on a Skype chat here. But we are doing another erotic readings.
Damn it.
Oh God.
And let me get Nick's. Get this music. Just get us a little warmed up here while I pull up Nick's.
I'm sending this to Kristen immediately.
I don't. I don't want to be associated with this every time I come here.
Yeah, well, this is how it works. Where is she?
Well, listen, Bobcat Goldwhite didn't want to be put into a box or typecast either. You know what?
How did you pronounce his last name?
Goldwhite.
Goldwhite?
Goldwhite.
It's Gold.
I just read the last line of this.
All right, Nick, I sent you yours, so we're gonna start. Who has number 1?
I do.
All right, Ben, why don't you give us a little erotic reading?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Shit. Let me get in the mood here. The stretch of... Sorry. The stretch of the flesh was beautiful and grotesque. His gasps in his mouth. A burning warmth against the side of his chest through the thin, silky cloth on her hips. When she looked up, her face was blurred. Her eyes were hazy from wine. Condom, she said? Condom? In the bedroom, he said finally. He followed her. Followed that movement of her haunches. That slight jiggle which still and now made his heart surge in tender ferocity. He found the unopened condom packet easily, and the table next to the bed. She laid back on the bed, twirled off her panties in a single arcing moment that bent her like a bow and back. Orange light spilled through the curtain on the west-facing window, across her belly into the shadow below. His fingers fumbled at the plastic. "Give," she said. She took it from his as he tumbled onto the bed. She kissed.
She took it from his asses?
She took what from his asses?
She took it from him as he tumbled onto the bed.
How many asses?
She kissed him with a swirl of the tongue, then rolled the rubber down. Then she was Then she was over him squatting. And at the closest point of their meeting, he felt the spill, ecstatic and alive. And in a last moment of this, he thought, "Is this me? Is this you?" The condom made a sad plop onto the floor next to the bed. Makes no sense.
So what the reason you actually did pick the one that made me laugh the hardest at that part at the end where it goes, "Is it you? Is it me?" It was like, "Did a prince really kiss me?" It's the line from Into the Woods.
Oh my god. So terrible.
Yeah, that was gross. The condom plop was that
made
was
a sad plop. A sad plop.
I mean,
I'm like,
let's be honest. That's sort of what it does. I think always make a sad plop. Right?
Matt, why are you stealing pages from my autobiography?
By the way, I went back. I went back to 1994's year for these choices. So these are 1994 vintage eroticas. I believe Ryan, you had number 2.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I can't. There's no way I'm going to be able to read this with a straight face. I read the first line and I've been crying.
And you're hard as a rock. Was that in it?
No, that was me.
Okay, hold on.
Good lord, what's happening over there?
No, I can't see. It sounds like he's unzipping.
Nick, I wish you had gotten this one. He looks long.
Toes out, baby.
God damn it.
Sorry.
He looks long and lovingly at my wet vagina, saying a flower, a jungle flower. As he caresses one lip and then the other, tweaks my clitoris with his tongue, and lifts his head to declaim rapturously, "Someday I will paint this jungle flower, this Venus man trap, but first I will subdue it." And he plunges into me with his iron stalk, touching my womb again and again until I weep tears of joy. He cannot stop until he has made me come 3 times. And I'm quivering from my thighs to my toes, and I plead for a rest, a breather, saying, "Come, come, my love."
3 times?
At last he ejaculates, shuddering and growling, making the noises of a seal baying at the Arctic moon.
Oh.
My slippery seal, I say. My salty sweetheart. My kingdom of the 3 slipperies. My kingdom of the 3 slipperies.
Oh my god.
But what did they pull out of their asses?
I keep waiting for one of these podcasts that I can share with my family.
I think this is the one. Well, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful jungle flower that you read about there.
I can't believe I kept.
But first, I will subdue it. And he plunges into me with his iron stalk.
Oh, no.
Sending to all of our friends.
That is amazing.
Follow us on Patreon for more behind the scenes.
I really thought the song that we were singing to Nick at the beginning of this would be what got me in trouble.
Oh no, it was that for sure. Everything about that. Nick, you are up.
Man, 3 times. How can any of us live up to that?
3 more times?
3 more.
Ladies are reading
What
this.
is this guy?
making
Peter
a
North?
total unrealistic standard, you know. Anyway, all right, I'm ready.
There you go.
She unbuttoned her shirt. They stood there, skin to skin. Her brownness against his blackness. Her softness against his hardness. Her nut brown breasts that wouldn't support a toothbrush against his smooth ebony chest. She could feel herself through him. Her skin. The way her body existed only where he touched her. The rest of her was smoke. She felt him shudder against her. Her hands were on her hunches that could support a whole array of toothbrushes. I don't understand that at all. Pulling
this weird fascination with toothbrushes.
Like,
and
listen.
also array.
Array.
An array.
You're a wizard, array.
I realized I was pronouncing that wrong halfway through. You know, you can't double back.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I think I messed up clitoris.
Clitoris, clitoris, it's tomato.
I couldn't find it anyway.
It's not a real thing, yeah, so that's fine.
Pulling her hips against his to let her know how much he wanted her. Behind them, the river pulsed through the darkness, shimmering like wild silk. Yellow bamboo wept. Ambrose banished the thought and reached for a condom. Yazrin grinned and writhed on the bed, arching her back, making a noise somewhere between a beached seal and a police siren. Wait, again?
Why are there so many seals having sex?
And that's a different story.
Seal moved in and kissed her like a rose. No. And then he was there. Slowly at first. Dead slow. And then he was there.
Nick,
Slowly
that's the
first.
funniest joke you've ever made on the podcast.
Please, there's plenty to look for. Just download some old episodes. Slowly at first. Dead slow. She liked that, he knew. Then speeding up gradually to gain rhythm until he was punching smoothly in and out of her like a sewing machine. Ass clapping. Her noises increased in volume until she was producing a throaty ululation. Ululation?
Ululation?
I'm lightheaded.
Right, here's the last
Ryan
line.
literally passed out.
Ready, Ryan? Here you go. This is for you. He sensed that unmistakable stirring common to all men. That loosening, as he liked to think of it, of the bow ropes on the big white submarine.
Wonderful.
We all live in a big white submarine.
Did you say the bull ropes on a big white submarine? What is that?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
all I know is that
All
these were
bro.
definitely created in the 90s because everyone has a condom.
And a lot of seals.
I was reading like all of the commentary on like how they chose these things, and they were the what Nick's especially. They're like, there's this weird preoccupation with comparing things to how many toothbrushes it can hold. Like that's the only currency they have in this world. Like, how heavy was she? Oh, about 146 toothbrushes.
I mean, obviously, the first time I ever, hung out with my wife, I was like, quick, let me get my toothbrush. Let me see how that fits.
Welcome to
toothbrush
Penguin.
do?
Welcome to Penguin Publishing. To start your pitch whenever you're ready. Yeah, okay, great. This is a beautiful woman. Oh, great. Tell me more. Well, she could hold like 3 toothbrushes.
This porno brought to you by Colgate. 4 out of 5 dentists approve this erotic novel.
Sponsored erotica. All right, and we have number 4 here. Last at least.
Number 4.
Okay, here we go. Don't be shy. You're so
Lower.
beautiful. And remember, whatever we do, it's not dirty. When 2 people care about each other, there is no shame, only love. My, you catch on fast, don't you? Hang on, and he unzipped his jeans and dropped them to the floor. "Don't be frightened," he whispered. "Come on."
It's just a seal.
"Come on, lie down. There's no seals in this room." She obeyed. She obeyed, and he slipped off her panties. Then he broke off, reached into the drawer of the bedside table, found the tiny silver packet, and as she watched, rolled its contents on. Again, she held him, and both smiled. "Oh, Michael, I'm on fire for
my
you."
favorite.
"I'm on fire for you." "Hush. We don't want anyone coming to investigate." "I'm okay.
What?
Honestly, don't stop." Hoarsely. "I wasn't intending to. Hold on tight. Here we go." Well, that's it. I got the shitty one, but
Hey, there's a real focus on safe sex.
There's
and,
a lot.
That's good.
Did all four have condoms?
No, mine didn't.
Oh, you had no. You were going bareback.
No,
you were
dog.
going raw dog.
That's
No, dog.
Which is a great segue to our new sponsor, Durex. Sure, it's not Trojan, but it's good enough. Durex.
Mine just had somebody growling while they ejaculated.
Of course they growl when
and
they
making the
ejaculate.
noises of a seal baying at
Well,
the
what do you
Arctic
do when you ejaculate, Ryan?
I cry and I thank the person that helped me, and then I go about my day, like everyone does.
You thank yourself?
I thank them. No, I thank them and God and whoever else, whatever. Any seals in the room, it doesn't matter. It all happens.
The joke was that you
I
were
really
want to
know.
Yeah, I got it.
I want to know what Matt's targeted ads look like.
They are real weird. Not gonna lie.
Toothbrushes, condoms, and SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
Seal
World.
SeaWorld after dark. Come see our
Seal
seals.
World.
Come.
Ew, that's gross.
Yeah, that's the grossest thing that's been said.
Come see our seals come. It's the worst tagline ever. There's too many comes in it. You gotta spell them differently. It's no good.
All I can see is Emma Watson staring back at me, and I feel shame. I just feel so shameful.
She's always judging everything that we're saying.
I'm sorry, Emma.
And she wouldn't approve of this
I love
at
you.
all. So we are our topic for the day was kind of a random one we just sort of picked up that we haven't done before, which is video game adaptations in film. And I thought to kind of kick us off, we might play a little bit of a game. I've downloaded a large number of video game sound effects, and I'm curious if you gentlemen can place the video game based on the sound effects. Now, some of these are very obvious, so we're going to kind of work around here. So let me get a good one to start with. Yeah, let's do Banks. Did you hear the instructions, Nick? I cannot hear you. I still can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Okay, there you go.
That wireless is banging on all
So
cylinders right now.
I'm gonna play a video game sound effect, and you tell me what video game you think it is from.
Are we chiming in? What are we doing here?
Just kind of, yeah. If you want to kind of buzz, or you want to start, like I'll go around the room a little bit. I can start with you, Ryan.
I don't care.
All right, so I'm gonna give you give you this.
Is that Double Dragon?
Nope. Shit. Close. Would you like another sound?
River
from the
City
same?
Ransom.
Nope.
Yeah, I need another one.
Another from the same game.
I don't know that one.
I know. Oh shit.
How about this one?
Oh my god, that
Street Fighter.
That is correct.
Street Fighter.
Nick.
Shit.
We were gonna get easier with them.
You
Hadouken.
Yep.
win, lose, perfect. Hadouken!
Can we talk about how racist that game was?
My favorite is I thought I put it on here. I have one where he's just like saying the countries. That's actually really funny. But
Tiger uppercut.
So what I was a little bit upset about is I knew when we needed to play the game in the episode, but I really wanted to use a lot of the grunt and fight sound effects in the erotic readings. But another time we'll get back to that. So
did you have any shuddering or growling?
Oh, I do.
Sound effects.
Well, here I'm going to give you another game. Here we'll start. We'll give this one to you, Nick, as a guess.
Flashback.
Now, here's another one from the same game. Here's another one from the same game.
It sounds next gen.
Here's another same game.
Can I guess?
Sega CD.
No. This is much more recent.
Neo Geo.
No, much
Neo
more recent.
Geo, solid.
You want to give
No,
Ben a
never
guess?
mind if it's more recent than.
Oh, it is more recent.
I have no idea what that one is.
It's a game I've not played, but I know at least you and Nick have played it, Ben. It is Portal.
Oh, Portal.
Those are different Portal sounds.
Obviously.
I didn't know if they were.
Yeah, you know what? The turrets or GLaDOS probably would have been a terrible pick to pull. You know, the ambient background buzz is probably a great sound effect, Matt.
I don't know the game. All right.
Nick just says the cake is a lie. And that,
all right, here you go, Ben.
Well, this is Nick's sex tape. That's not a game. And he's done. Somebody get that man a towel.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Mortal Kombat.
There you go. There you go.
It was easy enough from the beginning, but I just wanted that to keep playing.
More like Mortal Kombat.
I didn't realize that game has some. There's some other like. That is an actual sound effect. Well, let's get quiet. Let's listen to this very carefully here.
Why does it sound like it's revving up?
It sounds like Nick being sick.
Finish him.
It sounds like Nick is hurling.
Nick's about to hurl. I can't even function right now.
Why does it actually sound like Nick though? It really does. Oh my god.
Shit.
You're welcome, gentlemen. I'm glad I didn't quit.
All right, Ryan, this one should be. You'll get to this, so there are some easier ones. I'm going to try to go to ones that are less.
Doesn't Ben need to do one?
I just did.
Oh.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh my god, I'm so pissed off at myself that I can't. Yep.
Bloodhound Gang.
I can't think of it. I'm completely blanked.
Pac-Man.
Asteroids.
Pac-Man.
Well, it was one of those is from Asteroids.
No, that's all Pac-Man. That's all Pac-Man. Sorry, sir. All Pac-Mans. All Pac-Mans.
Okay.
Yep. That's one of those where you feel really stupid because you know what it is and you just can't think of it.
All right, this
I was
one.
trying to give you a hint, Ryan.
Excuse me, it's from Mrs. Pac-Man.
She swallows. All right, Nick, try this one. This is going to be a hard one. Actually, I'll give you maybe an easier.
No, give me all the hard ones, Matt.
I'll
That's
try
how we
that.
do it here.
All right.
A gun. Okay.
Okay. How about?
Nick's Sex Tape Volume 2.
How about this?
Yeah, same.
Can I guess? It's GoldenEye.
That is correct. It is 007 GoldenEye. This one, I thought that was that for me was like the biggest giveaway on that one.
You're right. That's a good one.
I hated that game because I had a friend that was so good at it that it was infuriating.
The Odd Job?
Yeah.
No, we had no Odd Job.
No
I
Odd
would
Job.
play Odd Job against him because fuck that guy. He was just so good that it pissed you off.
How about this one, Ben? It's a little bit longer one.
Fallout.
Correct. That is Fallout. I was going to give you the easier one as.
It's a Nuka-Cola.
Let's go to.
Ben's not a fan of the Fallout franchise.
I thought he got me. He told me to get Fallout.
No,
the first one.
he loves Fallout. He loves Fallout.
All right.
He introduced me to Fallout.
I'm a huge Fallout fan.
And Fallout Boy. All right, how about this one, Ben?
Oh, I know it. Is it Galaga?
Nope.
It's Mario. It's a Mario.
Nope.
Super Mario.
It's not a Mario.
Sonic. Sonic.
Yeah, that's
I was
what
going
it
to
is.
give you the easier ones are the...
Yep.
Speaking of...
Yeah, we got, and so the final, so Mario's too easy. So what I did instead is I downloaded a whole mess of Mario sound effects to tell me if you can tell me what's happening in the game with each of these sound effects. So I'm going to start Ben on one.
It's a me, Mario.
What's happening on this one, Ben?
He's growing.
No.
Nope. Going down a green
Going down
portal.
to
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Pipe. Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
Got a star and he's running real fast.
Yes, very nice.
Invincible, baby.
Nick. That's kind of a cheat. Let me give you a
So
better one.
one up. It's a one up, right?
It's when you first start the game and it puts the Nintendo logo up. It's the thing.
Why don't you give me the bullshit
I'm
ones?
gonna give you a. Here we go. Let's do.
He hit the flag and then he cleared the level.
That's correct. Ben.
I have no idea.
It's Yoshi.
That's correct. It is
Oh,
Yoshi sticking his tongue out. And let's go to the last ones. One sec. We got Nick.
Hey.
Oh, Ryan. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh, you're getting a coin.
That's right. Nick.
That's when he dies.
Correct.
Yep.
That's
jumping.
Yeah.
Jumping.
And Ben, how about?
I know.
Ben's getting.
Is that grown up?
Nope.
Nope.
Ben just wants to growing for all these. That's
I
what
just
he's
want
getting.
I just want my magic mushroom.
Fireball.
That's correct. That's Fireball.
Okay.
Nick, what's this one?
The beanstalk.
No, but close. But it's not the beanstalk.
He's climbing up the flagpole.
He's sliding down the flagpole.
Yeah.
Ryan, what's this one?
He died.
That's right.
Game over.
Now,
Game
Ben,
over, no.
Ben, what?
Specifically.
I'll give you one guess for this one, Ben.
He gets a mushroom and gets blown up.
He's growing. Correct. They finally got growing for Ben. What does this sound mean, guys?
Rick Moranis blew Mario up in his return to cinema.
What's happening here?
Running out of time, bro.
Yes. And one last one. I think I got one
I know what this
more
has
here.
to be.
It has been guessed already, but we didn't get to it.
Oh.
It is the beanstalk. And I think maybe you're waiting for this one, Ryan?
Yes. Nope.
Oh,
That's one up.
Yeah, that's one up.
yeah.
What were you waiting for? The Koopa shells?
Entering level 2-1.
Oh, no. That's
That's a musical cue right out of sound effect, you charlatan.
it's also the song that Mia's husband wrote a song about safe sex to it, and it goes penis, 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 coitus interruptus is my favorite method of controlling birth. It's a very ominous song because it's not a good way to get around that.
So he doesn't follow the beliefs of all of these things you made
Yeah,
us read.
apparently he does not follow the erotic readings.
The new way promotes safe sex, as we showed with our erotic readings. But now we are on to our topic at hand, which
It is, Mario is a good segue for love life. Your princess is in another castle.
Always.
This is the wrong princess.
He first of all, he doesn't recognize it's the wrong princess each time until someone has to tell him no, dude, that's not her. And he has to go find her. He's kind of an asshole.
The little toad creature.
Well, he's not
Sorry.
He's an idiot.
He's basically just Paul Mamalito.
I bet Mario puts his toilet paper under.
Maybe.
God.
Who knows? So yeah, we picked video game adaptations, and it's kind of fun to look at this because video games are not technically that old. in general, that you're really looking at the late 70s for stuff like Pong, and then you don't really get the home consoles where they get super
87.
popularized until well, you have Coleco and Atari in the early 80s.
87 is when Nintendo took over.
And then you get Nintendo, and that like changed the game for everything. And really, Nintendo has sort of led the way in a lot of these translations. And really, I think the first thing to talk about in a video game discussion is Super Mario Brothers. It is one of the biggest games of all time, but it was also the first video game, a movie based on a video game, because there are also movies about or love letters to video games that I want to talk about as well.
So I did find out about Mario Brothers because I was trying to research pre-code video game adaptations for Ben. So I figured that would be like top 5 on his list.
He'd be very excited if they existed.
Casablanca in Street Fighter. Oh shit!
Casablanca starring Blanca from Street Fighter.
That just happened in my brain as we were talking.
Listen, because I can't talk about pre-code film in this podcast because of the source material, I do have to recommend a book, which is Console Wars, which is a really, really interesting book about kind of the battle between Nintendo and Sega in America, and kind of the who was fighting for dominance basically in the North American market, because while video games were a huge thing in the 80s in Japan, nobody had home consoles except for the few people that owned Atari in the US.
And Coleco.
Really, really interesting book.
I'm Ben Wilson. I read books.
But also
leave it to Ben Wilson to bring a book to a video game
colors
discussion.
a pretty interesting thing about like why the Super Mario Brothers movie was as bad as it was.
And
I mean, it's the reason why they wouldn't license any of their characters
ever again.
End of time.
Ever again.
Well, and it was also like Super Mario also was the first one to do the live action TV show and the cartoon. Like they kicked off a lot of that world of like, hey, we're going to make some stories out of these things. But yeah, Super Mario needs to be discussed kind of at length here, because it is if you have not seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, it is
terrible.
One of the strangest movies I think I've ever seen. When you talk about batshit crazy movies, it is beyond batshit. And it's like everything you read about the making of it, you got Bob Hoskins and Leguizamo were trashed, like blackout drunk the entire shoot. They did not want to be in it. I forget, Hoskins was like contractually, he had like a studio deal, and he had to do like, they just like, you have to do this movie, which is a great way to get an actor into something. But yeah, you're forced to do this. It is
great.
It's like Blade Runner and Total Recall sort of set design
with plumbers.
With a lot of like
with a little Alien in LA thrown in for good measure.
Yeah, and a little Demolition Man.
And villains with oddly sized heads.
You know what? I think if like Super Mario and Demolition Man, if you like ran into characters in either one of those movies, it would make complete sense that they existed in the same universe.
100%.
It's very bizarre.
Well, you could just see the studio heads like doing mental somersaults, trying to think how they can realistically explain Koopas and turtle shells and mushrooms that make you grow, and they're like, how are we going to do this? Let's do a post-apocalyptic
yeah, there's no logical explanation to any of it.
No, yeah, and like
unless they're all on shrooms,
it's gonna be great.
And there are like three moments in it where they throw in a light gun that had just come out for like the N60 or for the Super Nintendo, and they have a controller at one point, and they have Yoshi, which was like a last minute addition because that game had just come out. Like almost the Super Nintendo was brand new when the Super Mario Brothers movie came out,
and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna make it a dinosaur."
Yeah, like none of it, nothing looks like the game other than their costumes, loosely. They don't look like brothers at all, and there's no idea that these are two Italians. You've got a British guy and a Spanish guy.
I still think my favorite part of that movie is when they're just like, "What's your last name?" He's like, Mario. He's like, "Your name is Mario. He's like, Mario. Yeah. And he's like, "What's your name?" Luigi. Your last name Mario? Yeah, Luigi Mario.
That's true though. That's canon.
Is it really?
It's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe that's canon.
That's terrible.
just like all the traditional depictions of Bowser, the giant dinosaur creature, is a bleach blonde, slicked back hair and a trench coat that looks like Dennis Hopper.
I remember I was like a huge gaming nerd back in the 90s, in the early 90s, late 80s.
And now you're just a huge regular nerd.
Yes, I've branched out into other things that I'm just not good at video games, so I gave up on them. But
if there's more than 2 buttons, Matt Schenk wants no part in it.
Yeah, I get very Nick and Ben have both watched me painfully. Like they're like, "You're not that bad." And Ben one night literally couldn't even look at me. He's like, "Can you just give me the controller? I can't watch."
I think I played you in Madden.
Yeah, I played in Madden. It was terrible.
It was like 51-0 after 1 quarter.
Ben's like, "I don't like this. This doesn't feel right."
It was 2 weeks before he looked you in the eye again.
I'd already taken advantage of you once that night, so I didn't feel like I was taking advantage of you a second time.
I was no longer a viable mate. And Ben's like, but I was a big nerd. I used to have entertainment or electronic gaming monthly subscription in the magazine. So I remember I was
Nintendo
reading
Power
EGM.
or nothing.
Oh, I was an EGM guy. I love the EGM.
Nintendo Power, baby.
EGM had the good cheat code section in the back, which I was a fan of because I'm terrible at video games, so we've established. But the
human game genie, Matt Schenk.
Oh, Game Genie! What a beautiful fucking device. God, I'd give my left nut for a Game Genie on the modern games.
That's what the internet is. Yes. You don't even have to give up a nut.
Yeah, this is true. So I've been
Google.
reading about that movie, and I remember asking my mom because they were announcing casting decisions. I knew who Bob Hoskins was, and I was like, I go, Mom, it says Dennis Hopper's playing King Bowser in this movie. Like, who's Dennis Hopper? My mom's like, Dennis Hopper's in the Super Mario Brothers movie because she was playing like she liked Mario. She's like, let me see that magazine. she's like, oh, this looks very weird. But we went and saw it in the theater on the day it opened. We used to go on Friday matinees like after school.
You and like
to,
10 other people across the country.
I just remember like it does the opening. The opening is actually kind of cool. It does the 8-bit like opening, and then the rest of the movie is god awful terrible. But for like 5 seconds there was hope, and then it
sounds
just
like
got
my sex life.
Well, 5 seconds there's definitely not hope for you. But.
Now let me ask you a question. When you think of live action Mario, do you go Hoskins or do you Captain Lou? Where do you go? First, like, snap your finger. Where do you go?
Probably Captain Lou. I like that.
Lou Albano for me, 100%.
It was great. I loved that show. Was silly but great.
Bob Hoskins, not my Mario.
Well, I also like that show was one of the first like cinematic universe things too, where it was all of the different characters would interact and they would play. It was always kind of interesting. But so
we can watch Italian people talk to each other.
I was a big fan of John Leguizamo, so like I was just like, oh yeah, he's good in the movie, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to know if anyone's. Yeah, you just don't know.
Little Ben Wilson with his The Freak hoodie going to school. John Leguizamo's #1 fan.
I like to body on my beat, crow the craze.
It is
straight
very
hustler.
That is very because like I knew who Leguizamo was, but I was a little bit older than you, so it sort of made like you were very young to be a John Leguizamo fan.
I was just like, I like the Latino actor is doing a really good job after doing his 2 one-man shows on Broadway.
Or his
Latinx,
or his memorable performance shooting Harrison Ford in Regarding Henry, an early J.J. Abrams film.
That's
Spoiler
right.
alert.
Yeah, so it happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
J.J. Abrams just wrote the movie. He didn't direct it.
He wrote the movie.
Oh shit! I said The Freak, didn't I? I meant The Pest.
You meant The Pest. I knew what you were saying.
But Freak is the name of his stand-up show. One of his early stand-up shows was Freak.
It was
Freak.
One of his one-man shows was Freak.
Yeah.
Look at that unintentional accuracy.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed with that one.
Wow.
It was a deep cut.
I mean, that's what I meant.
I'm a shyster, the pestmeister, living life in Miami's Vice.
God almighty. You really watched that movie.
I don't like that at all.
I don't
like Ice Age?
No. Yeah. So the early dive into video game adaptations was not good. We have Super Mario Brothers. We have a Double Dragon movie that is
dive into video game movies and a descent into madness.
Wasn't Scott Wolf in the Double Dragon movie?
He was in this Double Dragon movie. Double Dragon is not shit. It's just like a bad early 90s action movie.
So what was better, Double Dragon or Street Fighter?
Well, so next we come up to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Those come out.
Which we have Raul Julia in Street Fighter.
Double Dragon was shit because they missed the very obvious Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme pairing that should have been the brothers in Double Dragon.
True that.
So your shit, I don't even care about the rest of the movie. If those aren't the two leads, I'm not there.
Well, and what's funny
That's
is
so dead on.
They tried to make it later with Jean-Claude Van
Street
Damme
Fighter.
and Dennis Rodman with Double Team, and it just didn't work.
It's interesting. So the casting in these movies was always very bizarre. You have Hoskins in Super Mario, which he was, that's a somewhat established actor at that point.
If you read up on the background, you know who they really wanted for the original
No.
Tom Hanks.
For Mario.
For Mario.
Tom Hanks and John Leguizamo as the Mario brothers.
Tom Hanks is built like a Luigi, though.
Yeah, I can't even get behind that cat. I think he can do anything, but I can't get behind that.
I know.
You know who would make a great Mario right now? Jack Black.
Jack Black would be an awesome Mario.
He'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think if Hank in this alternate
Jack Black and Colin Hanks. Colin Hanks is Luigi.
That would be amazing. All right, this alternate reality, right? We've got
that needs to happen.
Super Mario Brothers is pitched to Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, it's between Philadelphia and Super Mario Brothers, and he's kind of he's not broken huge yet.
And Penny Marshall was just like, don't do it.
And he goes, hey, I want to do it. Do you think he goes method like he was going to do for like Philadelphia? Like he puts on 60 pounds and like he really digs into like goes like hardcore Mario, and we get like a Hanks, like a really good Hanks Mario.
Hardcore Mario sounds like a terrible porn.
Hardcore Mario definitely sounds like
so
some
much
of those
pizza.
Some of those sound effects
shot entirely in first person.
Yeah.
it's just Ron Jeremy film. That's all it is.
So then we get Street Fighter. We have Dolph Lundgren and unfortunately Raul Julia in his last movie. He was dying. It was terrible. It was like ridiculous. Not a cancer. He had AIDS.
I thought he had cancer too.
Maybe double whammy.
Yeah.
I knew he was HIV positive for a while. But yeah, Raul Julia unfortunately gets roped into this, and Street Fighter is like, I don't even think it's fun to like hate. Like Super Mario, I could watch like and find like humor in it, but Street Fighter is just, it's casting Jean-Claude Van Damme as the American war hero Guile is like also just so like, if there's Guile is so American in that game.
Yeah,
he's so
real American. Yeah.
Sonic Boom.
Hey America, just forget that Frank Dukes has been a character already. Let's dye his hair blonde and put him in this movie.
Yeah, it was just terrible casting. But then one of Beth's favorite movies comes out, and I did like this way better than
wait.
than Street Fighter.
Can I try it once?
She loves
Yes.
it.
Well, let me try it once. Ready?
Mortal Kombat!
Get over here!
Y'all can't even see the lights
All
are
right.
going on and off in here.
I'm sorry to everyone that just literally turned their radio dials and phone dials
I think
down.
Nick just left the podcast. He was like, I'm done.
It's like they're sitting in the room pitching the Mortal Kombat movie, like, okay, all the pieces are falling into place. We need a great theme song. Like, hey, how about a house remix of the Morse code? Like, yes, that's perfect.
I mean, listen, if you don't in your head go, and then start saying like Sonya, Luke Cage,
Blade.
Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Like it was so like that was iconic. You couldn't not hear that. It was fucking great. But you also have Bridget Sampras Wilson looking super hot as Sonya Blade.
Please.
What's that?
Who kills Kato?
Whoa,
Brigitte.
spoiler alert.
Brigitte. Kato. Yeah, and when you've got Christopher Lambert, which was a strange casting.
Oh, yes, as the Asian guy.
Yes, I'm playing an old Chinese warrior. I'm Christopher Lambert. And his weird raspy voice. But yeah, it was the effects were very bad. Because it was just early days of CGI. But I do remember. I remember enjoying it. Like we all saw that in the theater, and we're like, yeah, this is fun.
So it was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, not to be not to be confused with the other
P.T. Anderson,
which
is so weird. How can that possibly exist?
Who went
Fiona
on?
Apple met him on the set of Mortal Kombat and then loved
who went on to direct one of the better video game adaptations, in my opinion, which is Resident Evil.
This is true.
The original Resident Evil.
And did he also do Wing Commander?
No.
Okay, I was trying to remember who directed, because Wing Commander's another just Wing. So Wing Commander almost kind of killed any momentum with the video game thing. Is just the movies were tanking, they cost too much, and then two of them really resurrected it. The first was Tomb Raider. I think was probably the first really successful video game adaptation.
Was that was Jan de Bont? I think he did the sequel.
Yeah, it's two different directors between the two. I can look it up for you. But
and by the way, guys, the newest installment of the Tomb Raider series with Magneto's fiance,
Alicia Vikander.
Of course, Vikander. The new take on Tomb Raider feels a lot like what I hope Uncharted is. It's very Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
a little less flashy and sexy of the Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie boobs.
I disagree.
It was really good. I ended up really enjoying it. It's on a plane. It's a plane movie, but still, it's not a terrible film.
Simon West directed the first Tomb Raider.
Oh yes,
less Angelina Jolie.
Yes,
Simon
Simon West
is never a good thing.
The director of Con
Air, fucking amazing. Did you fucking say a bad thing about Con Air in front of me?
Say a bad thing. Say a bad thing.
It's a fucking goddamn
Con Air.
It's a fucking treasure. I'm turning Nick off right now.
Okay.
Bye, Nick. See you later, fuckface. Put the bunny down.
Suck it, California Dreams.
Yeah, I think Tomb Raider was like the first. was the first like really big successful one, and then Resident Evil is probably the most successful franchise, right?
So I actually really kind of enjoy the first Resident Evil movie because it paves its own path. It takes kind of the Resident Evil umbrella corporation thing, but it takes it outside of what the original movie did, which it totally kind of made its own path and did like this wide. They knew that they were going to be like, oh, we're going to expand this world in the future. Now, all the other movies suck, but the first Resident Evil isn't that bad of a movie. It's kind of fun.
And that's one that's on my list of the same as National Treasure. I've never seen a Resident Evil movie.
I still don't think it's the best video game adaptation.
Oh.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, what do you think is the best video game adaptation?
I think
for like a week.
The best video game adaptation is Silent Hill. The first Silent Hill movie is actually super effective and fantastic.
Now, did you play that game?
Yes.
And did you play Resident Evil?
Yes.
Okay. So you're because that's where I for me, like, I didn't play. I know Nick and Ben. That's why I want to, like, on these later ones, I kind of want to get you guys really to weigh in on it, because I stopped kind of gaming by that point, so I've never played any of those ones. Do you agree with that assessment, Nick, on Silent Hill?
I've never seen Silent Hill, and I never played Silent Hill, so I'm not a good person to ask. For me, it's a slam dunk. Jake Gyllenhaal stars in The Prince of Persia.
Oh my God!
It is a non-stop thrill ride from start to finish. A undervalued performance from Jake, of course.
It's his most Paul Mamalito-esque role to date, I think.
You know, Matt, at the heart of it, Prince of Persia is really a love story.
All right,
just kidding.
That's enough.
I've not seen it.
That's enough.
I've not seen it.
I love that he got like completely ripped and like jacked to like he really put the time in to be like get into that role, and I'm like, no, this was not the one that you should have spent your time on.
So, do you know who wrote the Silent Hill movie?
No,
Roger Avery.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
that's Pulp Fiction and Rules of Attraction. Roger Avery.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about it. It looks very atmospheric. Who directed Silent Hill? Do you know?
Christoph Gans directed it. Who? Yeah.
Christoph. Yeah, I should have known.
Yeah, that guy. No, he actually he did some other stuff. He did Brotherhood of the Wolf, which is the big.
Vague.
That's a great flick, actually. Yeah, really great flick. So let's transition a little bit. So we talked a lot about video games that have been turned into movies, but video games have also provided a lot of fodder for plots for other movies that reference or encapsulate video games. And what's funny is you have one very early on that predates most actual video games, and that's Tron. Which is kind of interesting to have that really is the inception of video game movie making.
Tron is such an interesting movie. Ryan, have you seen Tron? Have you?
I haven't.
Yeah, okay. So the crazy part about Tron is that it was so far ahead of its time. First off, it was the first movie to ever use CGI.
Painstaking CGI. Yeah, and there's a Pac-Man Easter egg in it.
But it's got this whole thing where it's like all of the video game characters have their users, which are the people that are basically their programmers in the real world.
So it's just Avatar.
And so they're basically like these champions on behalf of their users. And it's crazy how much it predated stuff like The Matrix and like other movies where it's like these essentially kind of these fake world avatars.
Ready Player One.
Yeah. Well, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. We get to that one.
But Tron was kind of a boring movie altogether because they couldn't afford these huge set pieces.
But I mean, those light cycle races were fucking
awesome.
like
So
insane for the time. But yeah, they rotoscoped the entire movie.
Yeah.
Is basically drawn over in like neon animated patterns for the entire thing, which it's insane.
Yeah.
It cost a ridiculous amount of money. It paid off. It was a hugely popular movie in the 80s. And then they made a less popular sequel, which I actually liked.
Which is actually great.
It's
very good.
Really like that movie.
I rewatched it actually very recently because I hadn't seen it since we saw it in the theater in 2010. And I was like, it's really actually it's a super smart movie. And that, I will fucking say to this day, one of the best soundtracks of all time is Daft Punk doing the Tron Legacy.
It's pretty good.
It's so fucking good. That soundtrack is dope as shit.
But I think though we can all agree, like pretty much absolutely, that the best referencing video game movie of all time is Pixels with Adam Sandler and Josh Gad and
well, what's the competition?
I was gonna say
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a god awful terrible movie. And no, it's not a good movie.
So there is a 4-second sequence in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 where Chris Pratt turns into Pac-Man for a second as Rock, and I think that 4 seconds is better than the entirety of Pixels.
Well, and I think that Adam Sandler was robbed for an Oscar nomination for Pixels, but we disagree, and that's fine. We'll move on with that.
I blew it.
I think actually for me, at least my money, and Ready Player One is great, but I think Scott Pilgrim is the best love letter to video games.
Yes.
That exists out there. I think it's just everything that how it builds that into the story and the effects and everything on it is just fucking flawless.
An 8-bit version of the theme, the filmatic.
Well, I mean, they have a boss battle. I mean, there's boss battles in it. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, my favorite part about Scott Pilgrim was where he turns into like the metal version of himself, you know, at the very end, and you're like, oh shit, there's about to be a fight, and then they just walk out and they're just talking. They're just like, yeah, he's a cool guy. I should hang out with him more often.
Or when he kills the first boss, the first evil ex-boyfriend, and he goes, "Wow, cool coins." Yeah. And just collects them. It's probably one of the best video game jokes. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not going to think about this. I just murdered someone. And they turned into currency, but whatever.
Yeah, that is.
You are blowing up right now.
That's the one like kind of meta thing on games I don't feel that they do enough of. Like there is just a weirdness to what is this use of coins, like killing things for coins. Where do they come from? Why does this happen?
Well, Matt, wait till you see how they use rings in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nice. I've been waiting to get to this, so let's dig in. So we have our West Coast correspondent Nick Santacroce took one for the team last night and went and saw the live action. I was so excited when you said you were going because I really had wanted to go. To see this.
How many Academy Awards is Jim Carrey winning?
Guys, let me paint you a picture. 4 p.m. on a Saturday, Highland Theater across from my apartment. It is like every theater I remember from being a child. sticky floors, tiny screen, classic old time theater.
Paul Rubens jerking off in the corner.
Yeah, right.
No, that's the theater.
Billie
that Matt
Eilish in the
remembers.
other corner.
Yeah. Ben and I decided it would be a great idea to show up, let's say, somewhat impaired. We brought a tall boy of Deschutes in my Kate Bush hoodie, and we expected a 4:00 on Saturday. We figured it a sparsely attended. There would be children, but we would drink our beer, our counterfeit beers in the back. Wouldn't draw attention to ourselves, and we would enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog as we are wont to do. We get up front and we sit down and we realize that we've gotten there half an hour before the movie starts. We thought it started at 4. It starts at 4:30. We're sitting there wondering when should we crack open our beers. I'm telling you, it was exactly how we pictured it until about 5 minutes before the movie started, and then a cavalcade of children. I mean, the whole theater filled up with little kids, and Ben and I looking at each other thinking, like, we are degenerates. What are we doing? We felt very uncomfortable.
Wait, so
you should have brown bagged it.
You went to see a video game movie with a tall boy of beer that you smuggled in, and it wasn't until the kids arrived that you felt like a degenerate.
It was like looking in the mirror, Ryan. You don't think about it until the cold hard reality is right there, staring you down.
Oh no!
But I gotta say, Ben and I unironically enjoyed this film.
Oh.
Sometimes you just need a little pure escapism, and that is definitely what it was. But it was not just a love letter to video games, but like a love letter to 80s adaptations of famous properties.
You got
to just pick, your big one-name actor. In this case, it's Jim Carrey, who is just playing Jim Carrey in the 90s.
Yeah.
As Robotnik and killing it. It is what it is. Of course, Ben Monstre has a unhealthy obsession with James Marsden.
I do too. I love James Marsden.
Well, you two got to get together because
he's the best.
His eyes lit every time I would look over after a Marsden one-liner.
Like Gozer and the Keymaster.
The Gozerian?
Gatekeeper and the Keymaster.
James Marsden, he's one of those guys I'm like, I want him to hit it big. He's always on the cusp of maybe he's something big, and he's not.
He's super great in
he's
everything.
Great. He's great.
And he does not
He's
phone it
great
in.
and Enchanted.
No, he never phones it in.
Yeah, he was really good. And of course, we got to give a shout out to the animators who are just traditionally treated like human scum in this industry. I mean, right there with PAs.
Well,
seriously.
Their first approach was pretty worthwhile of being treated like human scum on that movie.
Well, the thing is, they're just under the direction of the main designer, and they had a horrifying first version of Sonic with human teeth, and the backlash created this revolution where they spent millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine the hell that these animators. It's already tough in animation right now in the current state of the industry. It's bad. They don't get paid enough. They work insane hours, and they turned this around into a great Sonic design. I loved it. It was perfect.
Yeah, and I think
once they listened to Reddit.
No, well, and you know what is really interesting, and I think Nick, it is a really good point.
I wanted to support it. I really did.
And it's something that it is something that needs to be talked about a lot more, because what a lot of people don't realize with the effects stuff is that. So you look at something like Avengers, and it's great. That's why I love the Corridor Digital guys. They're starting to talk more about how some of this stuff works, and they finally, when they did their Avengers one, they really painted how clear it is that this is being farmed out to like 100 small effects companies.
Yeah, so many
and
people.
Every one of these companies that so the bottom like 75, the names you haven't heard of, they're young startup companies, and they're doing it for almost gratis. Like they're getting paid nothing because they're gonna put their name on the Avengers movie, and now that goes into a sizzle reel, and now they get business from it.
It's basically like the casting couch. Come on, honey, just one freebie, and then we'll send it to a manager. You know, it really is. It's that, man. It's not getting paid for your art when you're an animator, and it's crazy. There's not another position in the film industry that is so seemingly so constantly and consistently shit on.
It used to be animators. Like back in the day, it used to be animators because like Disney used to like not pay their animators basically.
Well, yeah, it was that was the gag. Well, it's not even that. It was the worst was the television animation. That's where that the Clerks cartoon does a great. Probably the best gag that entire 6-episode cartoon had was them farming the animation out to China, and they go, we didn't have a chance to review this next bit of show, so it's just whatever they decided to fill. Like the Chinese filled this story in, and it's like this dictator mouse with a whip, like animate faster, and the famous like who's driving car? Oh, Bear's driving car, and like all these just random like crazy shit in there. But that's how almost all of the Simpsons. Most of those shows were animated. That's also why they couldn't do topical references. That's where South Park became a big deal because The Simpsons was sending it to China to get animated. So they were like, there was like 8 months between air and animation. It was insane.
But you bring up an interesting point, Matt. You know, not to get too off topic, but like when you're thinking about animators and just the job that they are tasked to do, it used to be that we would hope for a property like Sonic to become a movie. And the reason it wouldn't get made is because, no, can't do it. Animation is too expensive. And then at some point, these startups, like you mentioned, you know, they bring themselves up by the bootstraps and they go, well, we're going to prove that we can hang with the big boys. So we're going to take this job, and do it for free. We're going to do it in record time. And the moment someone did it, it screwed it up for everyone else. It's like never be too good at your job. Because now you're kind of expected. You could turn around an animated series in a few months. But the strain is incredible.
Well, yeah. Or you do what South Park does, and you do it on computers, and you can turn it around in 24 hours, which is that's just like fucking insane. But yeah, it is interesting, and I think it is somewhat. It ties into video games in general. Of kind of you've got these properties. Same with video game design. You've got these games that are being designed out there that take years and years and years to make on systems that they don't even know. Like you're building a video game for a system that hopefully is still viable and good. And I don't know how that is nowadays with how quickly systems turn around, because that's got to be very difficult on game design, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously like integrating at this point because I think that video game designers are making games more like immersive film experiences, like where they're trying to. And I heard the reverse.
Naughty Dog.
I heard the reverse of it this year, where like everyone was talking about how 1917 felt like a cutscene from like a Battlefield game or from a Call of Duty game, and I was just
no, it's like gameplay footage, Ben, not a cutscene.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
No, it's both. It's it's gameplay followed by cutscene, followed by gameplay, followed by cutscene.
Which is kind of a so the one I'm waiting for right now, and the one that I think it's still the highest paid property to be licensed is The Last of Us. The Last of Us is one of the highest rated video games of all time, and they have spent a lot of years trying to like turn that into a viable movie or franchise. And so
I mean, it already is. I mean, the opening cinematic of the first one, I believe it made you cry. Ben, is that true?
Yeah, Ben was very upset about this.
I made you play it.
Oh, I cried. Sorry, it was me.
I think it was both of us.
I made you play it.
I cried watching you play it.
I remember it was before I lived in Florida, and you're like, come here, like, just play the first 25 minutes.
Just play the first 25 minutes of the game.
I thought, okay. And then I sat there, and it was like Adam Sandler and The Wedding Singer. It's like, I want to watch you eat the meatballs. I dumped them in your hand, and then you just stared at me. It was like me watching Ben in the theater for Sonic every time James Marsden stuck a one-liner. He just beamed. Oh, by the way, real quick, Sonic starts a bar fight in this movie, like a real bar fight at a biker bar.
Just coins everywhere.
Very PBS. Very PBS.
Did he sing Tequila beforehand?
Right. And then there are references to gang shootings and drug dealers.
Wow.
So you're saying don't take the girls, or actually take them?
I think you can take the girls.
They're pretty used to both of those things.
The kids went nuts in this movie, and a lot of them, I think, really knew Sonic. I'm looking at it like, they don't appreciate Sonic like I do. I grew up with Sonic.
Says the grown ass man chugging tall boys at this video game
These
movie.
fucking kids have no respect for the goddamn Sonic the
You kids don't
Hedgehog.
even know Sonic.
Where is Rings?
You plug in the Genesis.
Where is Rings? He's supposed to be faster than this.
He doesn't even have pants on. Where does he keep all his rings at?
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was great. All I'm saying is, it wasn't chugging. I drank it very covertly. I didn't let anyone know.
Yes, hidden alcoholism in a child's movie is not something to be proud of.
Ben, hold my cup. I'm gonna throw up. It's all over my shoes. Oh no, it's coming out of both ends. Oh.
The last time I was talking, I saw Matt like a mad scientist hovering over his.
He was like, I've got all of these sounds.
I had to get there. It took so long. It was hours.
Oh,
Wait, are we back into the erotic readings again?
Last thing I'll say about Sonic.
Wait.
Last thing I'll-
That ring up effect? The condom plopped to the floor.
I think actually.
Oh, Matt. Who just got themselves? I think Ben just got himself.
Oh my god.
He just got
Ben's his own biggest fan right now.
No, I just like that sound effect.
God, don't do it. All I want to say is,
we did a
for
good
everyone
job.
out there, for everyone out there who has low expectations, and the only thing that's important to them, and this is not autobiographical.
Low
anymore.
expectations.
I
That
thought you were
sounds
talking
like
about the podcast.
I was about to say, that sounds
No,
like the
he's talking
listeners
about-
of the New Way.
You walk into Sonic,
All of you with
and
low expectations.
all you want is for them to use Sonic's trademark slogan, "Gotta go fast," correctly and appropriately, and let me tell you, they worked that into the script in a brilliant way. It was perfect.
Really?
Just
I'm not gonna
chef's
lie.
kiss.
I did
I
not
thought-
know that phrase. I did not know that phrase.
I thought you kept going, and I thought his phrase was "gotta go fast, correctly, and appropriately." I was like, that's a terrible phrase.
that's how Sonic.
Jaleel White originally recorded that phrase in the early 90s.
Sonic is very woke in this Me Too environment, so he's
that's my wife's call phrase on 6 a.m. on a Monday morning.
gotta go fast.
Appropriately.
And Ben's like, I don't know. No, I dropped it low. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sonic, he could really move, but he did have an attitude.
He always had a little bit of an attitude, which is why they cast Jaleel White to really, fresh off of his Camp Cucamonga tour de force.
Camp
Cucamonga.
Ryan, if you have not seen
You have not seen with little Winnie Cooper?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Camp Cucamonga. I'm
Okay.
wondering what you said. Camp Cucamonga.
Camp Kookaburra.
What? You keep changing the name of
Sat
the
in
camp.
the old
Camp
tree.
Kuka Lake Mungo.
Camp Onawana. We hold you in our hearts.
Go. Oh Lord. Well,
All
I
right.
think
Things
we've
came apart.
So I know Ben, you want to see that movie. Are there any other video game properties? And actually, there's one I want to make sure Nick, you spoke a little bit about, which we haven't really talked.
I want to see a Fallout movie.
I've got one.
There's the Proto Men. Are famous for having
Metroid movie.
done a musical based on Mega Man, on the Mega Man series, which I did read in my research for today's show. I did see that there is a Mega Man film in pre-production talks right now. I don't know what's going to happen.
I still think that Metroid is the easiest one because Metroid, I think, has it's a cool sci-fi adventure thing, and then of course people don't. Gamers or people who aren't nerds won't realize that it was a huge deal in Metroid 2. So the end of Metroid 2, you beat the game. She takes off her helmet, and you realize it's
Samus
she.
is a her.
Yeah, Samus is a
Spoiler
is a
alert.
girl. Sorry.
What? It's a girl? Oh no!
I've been playing a game thinking I was a dude, now it's a girl.
And now it's a girl.
I've been checking out this guy's ass for 2 games. I'm thinking he looks great. Now I know why.
Yeah.
Zero suit, baby.
Zero suit.
I still think that's the most ready-made
if you can,
I want Star Fox animated.
I would
like
cool.
Guardians of the Galaxy style.
Oh, I would be into Star Fox, but live action Guardian style, like Rocket Raccoon fucking shit.
That's literally what I just said.
Oh, I thought you said animated. I thought you meant animated. You mean
Rocket
CGI.
Raccoon is animated.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you.
Do a barrel roll.
I don't know if you know
he's
this,
real,
Matt,
Nick.
but Rocket Raccoon
Shut
is
up,
not
he's real.
a person.
He's real.
He's real to
It's
me,
bad.
damn it!
Do a barrel roll.
He just happens to sound like Bradley Cooper doing George Costanza, but he's real.
Do a barrel roll.
It's goddamn real. Do a barrel roll. I would definitely be into. The other one I would also be into is a Zelda movie.
Not gonna happen.
It'll never. They don't seem to have any interest in doing that. But
Starring John Leguizamo.
Sorry, no. Of course, starring Orlando Bloom, reprising his role as Legolas. Link from the Lord of the Rings movies. But yeah, I mean, it is a little too Lord of the Ringsy to
His
do
name
Zelda.
is Legolas Zelda?
No, his name is not Legolas Zelda. That is
Zelda?
actually
Emma Watson is Zelda.
Yeah, sure.
I'd watch it.
As Princess Zorlda and Donkey Kong.
I want to see the closest they'll ever get to a Donkey Kong movie is The Rock in Rampage.
I had it on my list to discuss. Did anyone see Rampage?
No.
I just couldn't.
About as many people as saw Mario Brothers.
If those of you don't know why Donkey Kong is so funny, there is a meme. It's one of the best memes I've ever seen, and it's two Jeopardy players, and it's like, who's the villain in like some video game franchise? And each of them have guessed wrong. One says Princess Zorlda, and the other says,
Zorlda.
What is Donkey Kong? It's just, I don't know why it's so funny, but
it's ridiculous. It's who is Donkey Kong?
I just imagine like this like grilled out version of Donkey Kong with like gold teeth smoking a joint, and that's Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and he sounds just like Snoop Dogg.
Kong.
But yeah, he's voiced by Snoop Dogg. Yeah, bitch, I'm Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
It's just Paul Wall.
Well, I think that's probably we have it. Ryan, you're here. You're here in person. We have this so rarely. Is there anything you would like to add or talk about or apologize for saying earlier on the podcast?
I apologize for nothing. I feel like there's a movie that I can't believe none of you brought up when you're talking about love letters to video games and all of the things that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma's Boy.
The Wizard.
The Wizard.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about
the
the
Wizard. We did it on another episode, so we Beth brought that up on an episode.
So it just gets ignored in this one?
We can there's also the Who's Tommy, which is technically the earliest of the video game adaptations.
I love the Power Glove. It's so
here's
bad.
the thing.
God damn it, Ben! I was gonna say I love the Wizard. It's so bad. I knew I would never get it out, and then boom.
First of all,
Sorry.
The Wizard
Squeaky
did a
wheel.
great job of
Squeaky
making
wheel,
you
get
think
serious.
the Power Glove was a viable gaming piece of equipment, and it's trash. But
Well, that's true. It's a good band though. Check out Power Glove on Spotify.
I think we saw them open up for the Proto Man, didn't we?
Did we?
Oh, maybe.
No, doubt it. That's a lie. The only thing I constantly think about when I think about the Wizard is a friend of mine.
California.
A friend of mine was so excited about showing, and this was in college. He was so excited about showing his girlfriend the Wizard. She'd never seen it. He ordered it.
He ordered euphemism.
He ordered the VHS off of eBay.
That was the last time he ever got laid.
And it gets delivered, and his roommates take it's like this unlabeled tape. They take it out of the case and replace it with a porn.
Oh, no.
So they sit down for their, movie watching date of the Wizard, and he puts it in, and puts the video in, and it just goes straight into like awkward porn scene and his college girlfriend that he's, I think, still fairly newly dating, and he's like equal parts terrified, but also like
what if
watching
she's into
to
it?
see like if she's intrigued. It's like it makes me cry laughing every time I think about.
Did
the
he
Wizard.
eventually show her the Wizard?
I think he gave her the Power Glove.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
It all comes full circle.
power degloved.
I did, by the way, I did own at one time a Power Glove.
Oh, I had the Power Glove.
It was not good.
No, it's trash.
It was very bad, very terrible design. It was
there's nothing functional about it.
I was
not
also
as bad as the Virtua Boy.
I remember I love the Virtua Boy. That thing make you go blind in fucking 2 minutes flat.
Lasers.
See red lasers going into your eyes. What could go wrong? But the Power Glove's most disappointing thing, I think, was that it wasn't enclosed. Your fingers went through it, so it was like a 80s like bicycle glove, like where your fingers sticking out the end. Which
Can you imagine? Bullshit. Can you imagine if you ordered that Thanos Infinity Gauntlet and the fingers
no
fingers?
Like you did miss
You'd
Ryan, by the way.
Christ.
You missed Ryan double fisting the gloves earlier on.
Whoa.
No.
Okay. So it's time to sign off now.
Were there any seals involved?
Multiple condoms.
Multiple cons. Well, kids, thank you so much for listening to the new
Reality is often disappointing.
Kids, are you talking to the people watching Nick drink in a movie theater?
Remember to always bring a condom. You never know when you might need one. And we'll talk to you the next time on The New Way. We've got a lot of good episodes coming up. Some of our shorter form
way better than this one. This one
is this more about the places I live that you don't invite me to contribute to?
Well, do you live in Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
Yeah, well, then we don't have to worry about that one. And maybe a little spotlight on director Sam Raimi, plus our musical episode.
Please, Matt, Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
Washington.
There you go.
The Washington State Badgers.
There. Sorry about that one again.
Touché.
All right, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Bye.